Look at every dollar and every penny you earned over the last 90 days. This could be from your job, your side hustle, your business, your investments, whatever. Add up all the money you made over the last 90 days. Then do the same thing with your expenses. Pull out your bank statements and your credit card statements and add up all the transactions you made over the last 90 days and look at how much money you spent. Now compare the two numbers. Most people are spending just as much money as they're making, or they're spending more money that they're making through the help of their credit card, where now they have to make up this difference by paying 15, 20, 25% interest to the credit card. This spending habit of spending more money that you're making is destroying your net worth, because your money is constantly going out and it's compounding for your credit card company, making them rich while it's keeping you broke. Once you see where your money is going, that's when you can do something about it. Most people are spending a lot of money on stuff that they don't need. According to Kevin, most people should be able to cut down their expenses by a minimum of 15% by just doing one thing: buying less crap.
But Jaspreet, my cousin Bunty told me that Gucci is an investment.
Unless you're getting paid to wear it, it's not an investment. Then put aside $100 a week minimum and invest it so you can retire a millionaire. And now we're gonna work backwards to see how to do that. The average life expectancy for somebody in America is between 75 and 80 years old. And if you wanna retire at 65, you need to know how much money you're gonna need to retire, that way you don't run out of money. To keep things simple, let's say that you and your spouse need $50,000 a year after taxes to be able to live free and maintain your lifestyle. When you turn 65, you better have an investment fund big enough that you can pull out $50,000 a year after taxes for the rest of your life. To make that happen, you should not be pulling out more than 6% of your assets a year. But you also got to calculate taxes. If you pull out 6% of your assets, the first thing you're going to have to do is pay the government, because the government wants to get their fair share out of your retirement too. So if you pull out 6% of your assets, you're really only going to keep 4%, because 2% is going to go to the government. I know all these vague numbers are getting confusing, so let me put some numbers on this so it makes more sense. If you need $50,000 a year after taxes to maintain your lifestyle, that means you got to be pulling out something like $75,000 a year before taxes. That way you're left with $50,000 after taxes. This $75,000 that you're pulling out a year should not be more than 6% of your total assets, because you want to make sure that your investment fund, your whole nest egg, is going to last you for the rest of your life. So if $75,000 is 6% of your total assets, then you do $75,000 divided by 6%, and this tells you that you will need $1.25 million in order to be able to live your life for the rest of your life at this lifestyle. There's other ways to fund your retirement besides just having a big nest egg. You can invest your $1 million into something that produces cash flow or passive income like real estate, but you got to just find what's right for you. Now that you actually know how much money you need, how can you start off with $100 a week and turn it into $1 million? For one, you do not have to be a stock picker, okay? Most people should not be in the business of trying to pick stocks to begin with. Most people who invest their money in the stock market by trying to pick stocks lose money, not because they pick bad stocks, but because they get emotional.
Tesla, I love you, but why does your stock keep breaking my heart?
The way that a lot of newer investors who don't have investing experience invest in stocks is they buy into a company that they think is cool, and then the stock starts to go up, which is great, and then something happens, the stock goes down for a little bit, and now you see your portfolio in the red, and now people start to panic, they get worried, they get anxiety, and so they panic sell their stock because they cannot stand seeing their investment at a loss. There's a lot more to investing in stocks than just picking good stocks. A simpler way to invest your money is to invest the bulk of your investment money into a low-cost index fund that just matches the market, and then use a little bit of your investment money to invest into individual companies and stocks that you like. An index fund is a fund that invests into a bunch of different stocks. Now, instead of you trying to pick the best company to invest in, you can invest your money into this fund, and this fund is now going to invest into a bunch of different stocks. So now you're getting exposure to a whole bunch of different stocks instead of just one. Back in the day, the common way to invest into a fund that gave you exposure to a lot of stocks was by investing your money into a fund that was managed by a very experienced but very expensive money manager. These are called actively managed funds, and they have their place, but they are very expensive, and there are better options now. Your money manager is going to take a big chunk of your assets every single year, whether you make money or you lose money, and if they make you money, they're now also going to take a quarter quarter of your profits. And if that wasn't bad enough, the vast majority of money managers cannot beat the market over the long run. So you're paying huge fees to get average returns. That's when low-cost index funds came into the picture, which allow you just to invest into the stock market. So if the stock market goes up, your index fund goes up. If the stock market goes down, your index fund goes down. And now you don't have to worry about paying a whole bunch of money to an expensive money manager. There are funds that you can buy off your stock brokerage that will give you exposure to literally the top 500 companies in the stock market. So when the stock market goes up, so does your fund. Now the bulk of your money is going into your investments instead of your money manager's pockets. Are you guaranteed to make money? No, investing has risks. You are never guaranteed to make money when you invest. You might even lose money, which is why you should always do your own due diligence and never blindly listen to a random guy on YouTube. But let's do the math using some historical numbers. If you invest $100 a month, that's $5,200 a year. Goldman Sachs did a study where they looked at the stock market over a period of 140 years, and what they found is that over any 10-year period, the stock market grew by on average 9.2%. Past performance is not a reliable indicator for future performance, so let's say the stock market continues to go up on average over the long term, not by 9.2% a year, but by something like 8% a year. Now you're investing $5,200 a year and you're getting an 8% return on your money every single year on average. And if you start this when you're 25 years old and you do this until you're 65, your $100 a week will grow from $100 a week to more than $1.4 million. This doesn't mean that the stock market is going to always go up. This number factors in the fact that sometimes the stock market is going to go down and sometimes it's going to go up big. So it's the average. If you are older and you have not started planning for your retirement or putting money away for your investments, you're not out of luck. You just have to be more strategic. You can be more aggressive with your investments. That way you can try to get a better return on your money, or you can try to earn more money. That way you can double or triple, maybe even quadruple your weekly investments. The best case scenario is to obviously start investing as soon as you get your first job. But the reality is most of us are never taught about money or investing when we're growing up. I was the same way. That's what pushed me to start Minority Mindset. You have to make do with what cards are dealt. Then you gotta understand the numbers, work backwards, and make a plan to make it happen. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide that goes over what passive income is, how to start generating passive income, and different passive income strategies. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.